it's like, oh, you know what? Hey, we're going to put someone else in there and go. Now we can actually afford our real house or whatever it is. That was really like, it was kind of more like an, oh shit moment. You know, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, like we really don't have almost another choice. Like we could, but it wouldn't be comfortable, you know? And it was something where I knew like, hey, we have to do this one thing in order to delay some gratification in order to get there. And I think the one thing for everyone too, because I know some people, I've had so many people, I know you've had, you know, probably 100 times as many people say this to you over time, which is, you know, hey, I so smart you're doing that. Like, I wish I could do that. And I think so much of that is just mental, right? Like, what are people think of me? I'm living in a duplex or I'm living in a 3-unit or whatever it is. And it's, you know, like, okay, who cares? Like, if anyone's laughing at you because of that, then they probably shouldn't be in your life, number one. And number two,
and a lot of times it's almost as if I know for me, like I never even considered the fact that I could own 2 houses at the same time. Like I didn't know anyone that ever had done that, I guess. And I think that's also an objection. Like people, you know, to your point, you're certainly right. There's an aspect of people saying, oh man, I couldn't do that because people make fun of me and people think I'm weird. There's also, I think, other people out there that have never even considered the fact that, you know, themselves could have multiple houses, that's even in the realm of possibilities. And so it's like, man, if I get this place, I get locked down, I'll never actually get the house that I want, you know? And it's part of the message that I like to relay, and bringing on people like yourself really helps, is the fact that these are, you know, you can actually strategically get yourself to that end goal, like you and your wife and my wife, you know, myself and my wife want to do as well, which is let's let this portfolio pay for our dream home. You know, I mean, our goal is to have a nice piece of land, remote, build a new house. I mean, that's really what we formulated our dream around. But we understand that, you know, we want to take this portfolio and have it pay for that. And I think that's what we're trying to get out to people. And I think there really is a sector of people that could never consider that as a possibility.
Yeah, you know, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, like you said, it's something that either, you know, someone mentions it to you or just, you know, kind of comes to you, or you read something, you stumble into something. But yeah, like you said, most people don't even know you can do it, you know, and that's, again, why I fought with teachers in school, because, you know, why aren't you teaching us this stuff? Why aren't you teaching us that your assets pay for your liabilities? Why aren't, like, little simple things like this? It's just really incredible that people don't even know that you can do it. And you always say this too. I mean, you have such a great ability to, you know, why not put that low down payment? You know, most investment properties, you have to have, you know, 20% down or whatever, you know, something to that effect, where you got to put more down, have more skin in the game. Where if you can start getting and accumulating a number of properties where you're house hacking them and you're putting only 3.5% down or 5% down or something like that, that's incredible. And we're going into this environment, which we've already kind of touched on, going forward, where taxes are going to be high. You're going to have printing of a currency like we've never seen before in history, where it's just going to continue to happen. So using other people's money to build your wealth, I mean, it's, you know, the Weimar Republic. I mean, we've had these situations where people have had, you know, trillions of dollars all of a sudden in their hands, and they paid off these fixed. I mean, there's very few places in the world where you have 30-year fixed. America actually might be the only place. I'm trying to think. Very few, if any, other places in the world where you have a 30-year fixed mortgage available to you. And the more you can do that now, and then have the dollar just devalue over time, and then pay off that with cheaper dollars in the future, you know, again, like the Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe, places where they've had hyperinflation, it's all of a sudden you got $1 trillion bill and you just paid off, you know, or whatever, even if it's a $10 million bill or something like that, you can just pay off all of your debts at one time, because they're all fixed debts that you had, or just making sure hopefully you have fixed debts. So doing that, and you like you say all the time, and use that to your advantage, the low down payments, use those mortgages to your advantage. I mean, there's a chance that we go into negative rateville, where we've already had that in other places around the world, where who knows? I mean, there could be a time where you're getting paid to hold mortgages. Instead of you paying interest, you're getting paid interest. Instead of you paying $100 a month in interest, you might be getting paid $100 in interest a month. So that, you know, it just, those are the things that are possibly coming. And I think, like you said, most people don't even know about it. So waking people up, because we said this, I think it was off air, taking care of this first. You know, if you start taking care of yourself first, and turning the game and turning it around into your favor, then guess what? We don't have all these problems. We don't have, so much of what goes on in the world is economic driven. It's money driven. It, you know, the currency, it's the economy. It's the economy, stupid, right? So like all these things are driven off that. If people are stable and they've got this right inside here, their mind, their heart, everything is stable emotionally, physically, financially, well, guess what? You don't need government to do anything for you. You don't need, Klaus Schwab. You don't need Joe Biden or Donald Trump or anyone doing anything for you, because you're like, get out of my life. Like, I'm great. I don't need you. I don't need government. I don't need other people telling me what to do. I'm an adult. I can figure it out. And that's where, coming kind of full circle, I'm just vehemently against tyranny. I'm very vehemently against anyone telling you what to do or telling me what to do. I know what's best for my life. You know what's best for your life. And I don't need someone else in some, ivory tower telling me what's going on. But it starts in here. It's up to each one of us to be able to know what's going on and figure that out, so that way you can set yourself up appropriately.